Welcome to another exciting day of masterclasses hosted by the IAPC&M. I'm your host, Elena Nedeva, APC, and I'm delighted to be here with you. And what a day has it been? We've dedicated September 11th today to 5 webinars that support each coach on their journey towards establishing their business, coaching business. We started today with Donna McGrath, who shared practical tips and guidance about how to identify the niche each coach is truly great at. The second masterclass was with Ian Norton, who gave us a confidence boost, revealing the secrets to becoming authentically confident as a coach. Maria Louise gave us practical tips on using Canva to transform our coaching business brand. And previously, Rajiv Nayak gave us insights into the 5 pillars of business strategy and power of positive intelligence. As a reminder, this masterclass is recorded, so please, to ensure quality of the recording, mute your microphones, but keep your videos on. We love to interact. The session today is going to be interactive, so please feel free to unmute yourselves when you would like to ask a question, or put it in the chat. I'll be very happy to read it out for everyone. You're also encouraged to fill in your CPD logs with takeaways and ideas. So please grab your notepads, sit back, listen, and enjoy. Up next, speaking is Lynsey Cowan, a business strategist and systems mentor with over 10 years of experience working behind the scenes of coaching businesses, from just getting started to multiple 7 figures. She helps coaches simplify their systems, strengthen their sales foundations, and create aligned structures that actually support the freedom they started their business for. So without further ado, Lynsey, over to you. It's a pleasure to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much, Elena. A wonderful introduction. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining. It's 5:30 UK time. So it's the end of the day. It's actually 7:30 here in Turkey. So I'm going to try and keep your energy up as much as possible, because you've experienced so much in terms of training today. And I'm sure you've already experienced a lot of takeaways. But for this session, I want it to be as interactive as possible for you to get as much guidance in your tech, your systems, and also what's keeping you stuck right now within that structure, because I can almost guarantee there will be a lot of tech headaches, a lot of tech overwhelm, and uncertainty on what your next step is. So my intention for today is to help you with that. So I am going to share my screen. Elena, if you could tell me or give me a thumbs up when actually it's saying now I need to reclaim host to share my screen. So I'm going to do that.
We see your screen actually. If you're co-host, we can also see your screen.
I see. So you can see that, okay, guys? Can you see my slides? Can you see the slides okay?
I'm able to see them. So I trust that Rachel and Cynthia. Thanks,
Amazing.
Rachel, for confirming.
Sorry, guys. I should have put it at the start. So there you go. Apologies. Here's me teaching tech, right? And I'm not even getting the tech right for this session. There you go. So what I want to, so you can share that. You can see just those slides, right? Amazing.
Yes, that's true.
Amazing. Okay, fabulous. So I am going to talk about coaching business tech made simple. Now, I first of all just want to start with a little bit about me and why it is that I am so passionate about helping coaches in their coaching businesses with the tech, the systems, the sales structures, and all of that stuff that goes with it. Now, when I first set up this business, I was just doing the bare basics of supporting behind the scenes. And actually, my niche of supporting coaches found me. And at the first couple of years, I fell into the trap of believing and thinking that I needed to know everything. Everything in the online space, every system, every strategy, and we're talking about sales strategies, marketing strategies, social media strategies, the tech build and the structures. So I honestly, if you think about my head during that time, it felt like it was going to explode. Now, at the time, I felt like I had to do that or I needed to do that. So I just went with it. And I learned so much over the space of 2 to 3 years. But I'm here to tell you that right now, you absolutely do not need to do that yourself. You do not need to think that you need to reach points of burnout, essentially, for you to have a successful coaching business. For you to burn yourself out and work crazy hours to build the systems and structures that will allow you that freedom in your coaching business, because you don't need to spend all that time. And so I hope that this is helping you feel a little bit more at peace, believing that there is a different way. So I want to speak about this, and I believe a couple of the guys today also spoke about that. And it's very, very important that overwhelm in the coaching business and how you should lead you and build your coaching business. There is so much noise in this online space. And because of the algorithm and the algorithm knowing that you're a coach, you're probably receiving all of these ads about this tech tool, this digital marketing system. This is the best website platform. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is so much of that in the online space. And sometimes we buy into it. We buy into the belief that we need this tech tool system. We need this strategy. And so we spend most of our hard-earned money on buying these tools and systems. And so what I have seen behind the scenes with so many coaches over the past 10 years is that they're investing in all of the things that they think they need way too soon. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples, like new coaches that have just been accredited with IAPC&M, and they believe that they need a system, for example, like Kajabi. Now, Kajabi is a wonderful system. I use it. But what I will say is you do not need that right at the start of your coaching business. All you need are the systems and structures to be able to allow you to get yourself out there and get your first couple of clients. And when coaches fall into this trap of getting really overwhelmed and believing that they need all of these structures and systems, they're signing up to tools that they don't understand, or the majority of them don't. So therefore, they're spending all their time learning said tool rather than going out there and getting new clients. Now, I know for me, with my freedom-based business, I know which one I'd prefer if you're setting up your business. So I hope that you believe this too. And I am a launch strategist, so I help clients with launches and funnel building. But there is so much pressure that you have to launch your business. You have to have this crazy runway of getting them from a cold offer to a warm offer and building them up and spending money on Facebook ads or Google ads. But actually, there's so many other ways that you can do it without having to spend a penny. So my goal for you guys today is essentially you don't need more, you just need things to be as simple as possible. So what we're going to cover on this 45-minute session is really speaking about the core systems that you actually need when you are setting up your coaching business, and also the cleanest, most efficient tech stack. Now, if you're not familiar with the term tech stack, what I'm really essentially covering is the tech systems that you need to have built in your business to be able to sell what it is that you're offering. And I'm a massive, massive believer in creating the structures and systems in your business that are very much related to your soul aligned way of how you do business, how you coach your clients, so that you are being authentic, so that you are selling in a way that feels like you're just building relationships rather than selling, rather than, you remember the car salesman. I know there's not that many of them now. Well, I don't think this. Mind you, I live in Turkey. I don't see this. But you know what I'm saying? Rather than thinking about sales in that way, I invite you to think about selling as a way of building relationships and connection, even with a tiny audience. Again, people fall into this trap believing that they need a crazy big audience to be able to sell their one-to-one or group offers, when actually you just need a small audience of your ideal clients that you are building relationships with. I see it all the time. So I would love for those that are here with me on Zoom, or even those that are watching on YouTube or whatever, to pop in the comments and to share what it is that you are selling right now. And I'd also love for you, while you're popping that into the chat, I'd love for you to think about, do you know who it is that you're selling to? Because a lot of the time, new coaches, when they're setting up their business, they're thinking, I just want to coach. I just want to coach with this modality, or I want to do EFT coaching, or I want to do life coaching, business coaching, and not actually getting clear on who your ideal client is, who it is that you're selling to. Because this is one of the biggest mistakes, I would say, when you're setting up your business. Because what I'm seeing is, if you have no clarity on this stage right here, you're going to fall into the trap of, I need to be on Instagram, I need to be on LinkedIn, oh, I need to be on Facebook, oh God, TikTok as well. And then you've got different messages, or you're speaking about different things, when actually it may be that your ideal client isn't on that social channel. And you're spending so much time and effort to try and grow an audience. And you see followers, you see people joining your social channel, but they're not your ideal clients. And you're wondering why, when you're then selling or promoting your free or paid offers, that no one is taking it up. It's because you are diluting your messaging, but also equally, you have no idea who your ideal client is. So let me just check in the chat to see if anyone has added anything in yet. We've got a couple. Okay, a greater sense of self and direction, mindset and lifestyle changes to sustain mental health and well-being. Excellent. Rachel, have you had a think about yet who your ideal client would be for these offers?
Yeah, this is still an area that I kind of struggle with a little bit, because I feel like it could be directed at anybody and everybody. Certainly, in terms of my passion sort of lies in prevention and early intervention. So looking at people's lives before they're at that point of struggle. So that's one area. And then also reaching the people that are currently struggling, are just not quite satisfied with their life.
Got it.
Just a lot of external pressures just now. So yeah, I feel like people are trying to push through life with like cost of living, and it's having such an impact on their health.
Mm-hmm. And is this B2C or B2B?
What do you mean? Sorry.
Business to business or business to consumer? Like, are you looking to find your ideal clients through? Are you looking to find your ideal client through a corporate organization? So basically selling to the organization business, or are you looking to find individuals on social media through networking and so on?
Okay, I see what you mean now, sorry. Both, to be honest, more at an individual level, community level. But I can see the benefit that it would be to talk to organizations and businesses in supporting their employees' mental health, for the outcome of their business performance being successful. Because a lot of people appear to be burnt out in work, and it's coming home into their personal life, and yeah, it's just having a huge impact. So they are both areas that I can see, but primarily just now at a community level.
And when you're starting to think about, because obviously, you know, we've had conversations before about ideal clients and what it is that there's this terminology about what's keeping them up at night. What are the pain points, the things that they're really, really struggling with, that if they were to talk to their best friend about it, it's the thing that they would share.
Yes.
What's that thing that you think they've got?
In terms of, I mean, I've tried to give some feedback, so it's probably different in terms of different age groups. So certainly the young teens coming out of school to maybe 25-year-olds that I've spoke to are having a lot of social media pressure. They've said that they've constantly compared themselves to other people online, and that they've openly admitted to me that their confidence is quite low, because of the overuse of social media. And just not entirely sure what they want to do with their life because they're heavily influenced by online.
Yes.
So that's one sort of area. And then probably like late 20s to 30s. I'm in the 30s myself, and I know what keeps me up at night. You get to this age and you think, oh, I'm meant to be married. Should I have children by now? What am I meant to be doing? And I think there's that pressure on people to go down a path that's not really for them. Especially in this world, in relationships just now. I think with online dating and stuff, it's very difficult for people to try and meet other people. So certainly that age bracket. And then I suppose it covers a wider age bracket for that sort of age and older generation about financial struggles just now.
Amazing. So you've really captured two specific ideal clients there.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously thinking about where it would be that these two ideal client audiences would hang out. And what you're thinking about is, okay, and I'm just making an example here. I'm assuming that the teenagers would be on TikTok and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So really thinking about a strategy, how you can engage with them, how you can make them believe that you are the go-to coach for them when they are ready. Now, of course, you'd be thinking about offers that would match and fit their needs, as well as the ideal clients of people of similar age to you. Where would they be hanging out, and what would be the potential offers that you could create for them? You see where I'm going with this? It's really getting that clarity on what it is that you're selling for these two specific ideal audiences, and how is it that they're going to find you, which social channels, but also as well networking. If you are just solely using the online side of things, you're missing a big trick. There will be a lot of in-person networking that you will be able to capture too. And so these are like the first 3 steps of your foundations first. Starting with that clarity absolutely will be a game changer for you, because everything feeds from these elements. Because if you know what you're selling, as well as know who you're selling it to, because of their issues, their pain points, their desires, and you know how you're going to find them, then you're halfway there, more than halfway there. And then the next thing, when you are ready to invite them to step into your world, that's where the tech side of things comes in. How are they going to pay you? And how are you going to deliver that service? You will need tech. Now, this is the trap that I see when coaches get to this stage. They think they need all the tech systems, all the tools, everything done all at once. But actually, there's only a few things that you need to be able to deliver what it is that you're selling, to be able to invite new clients in, to be able to get that notification ping, the Stripe notifications that everyone talks about. There's only a few elements of tech that you need to get to that stage. Now, if you are feeling overwhelmed, really, really burnt out or close to that phase, or you feel like nothing's working, always come back to these foundations. Always. Because I have seen it time and time again over the past 10 years, from startup coaches, even right up to the 6- and 7-figure coaches, that if they are feeling muddled, or if their marketing strategy or their sales strategy isn't working, we always come back here. Always. And so I want to also mention as well that one of the things that you're probably seeing too is that everyone believes that you need a website to be able to get paid and deliver the results for your clients. I started working 10 years ago with new coaches up to 6- and 7-figure coaches. And a lot of the time we were spent so much time in building websites that they weren't putting any energy into growing their audience. And when the website was live and ready, and we did all of the SEO and everything to do to be able to market it, they had 0 people of interest. Now, if you imagine all of the time, effort that we took to spend, and their investment too, let's face it, because it's quite a lengthy investment to build a website. But by the time we got to them selling and building and growing their audience, they had no more budget. No more budget. So I can almost absolutely say that you do not need a website at first, 100%. You just need a way to get paid and to deliver the results that you're looking to serve your clients with. Now, this is my minimum viable tech stack that I think that you need to be able to set up your coaching business, to be able to sell your offers, and to be able to deliver your coaching results straight away. And these are the systems that I believe that you need to be able to create this successful business on a very, very low budget. So email, when I talk about email, it's the system that helps you be able to build a newsletter, to be able to share what it is that you are looking to share with your potential customers, to be able to invite people into your world, and for you to build that beautiful connection, that relationship with them. I've put 2 examples on there because people have different ideas on what the email system should be. So for example, most of my clients will come to me and they'll say, I just want a system that's cheap, that does all of the things that it needs to do, but it's cheaper than all the other systems out there, like ActiveCampaign and ConvertKit, or Kit it's called now. MailerLite currently is free up to 500 subscribers. So you can create a free MailerLite account. You can build pages. So if you have a product that you want to sell, you can build a page that promotes that service or promotes that product. You can build a landing page if you've got a freebie that you want to get out into the world, and you can send emails from it too. And it's free. Flowdesk is, I think it's something like $40 a month, but it's a beautiful site. As in, if beauty is one of your top things for sending emails out, you want it to look pretty, then I would definitely say to focus on Flowdesk. And it has, I believe, a system for website builds in there as well. So I would definitely say, okay, when you're looking at the best email system for you, what's important to me? Budget or visually beautiful? Like, what is your goal? And then when you get to the stage of promoting your services, say you've got your one-to-one offer, maybe a group offer, and you want to invite people to jump on a call with you and to discuss whatever it is, the said offer that they're interested in, rather than this email tennis of, can you do this day, no I can't, what about these days? You can set up a system called TidyCal for a lifetime deal of $29. You only pay that once, and you can integrate that, connect it with your email system, so your Google Workspace, your Outlook, whatever it is that you use for emails, connect it to the calendar in your email system. And the key to this, to make sure it works, is that you always add every commitment, whether it's a weekly, daily, weekly, monthly, recurring, or one-off tasks in your calendar, so that the online scheduler, the booking system, knows that you're busy. And that's the most important thing with these systems. I've seen so many of my clients buying systems like TidyCal or Calendly, and they're still using a paper diary. Well, that ain't going to work. And in terms of, if you are looking to share files with your clients, for example, like for me, I've got lots of templates and scripts and standard operating procedures for certain things that I always share with clients to make their life easier. And I always pop them in a Google Drive that I share with that specific client. So I would definitely think about, if you are sharing structures, templates, meditations, whatever it is. How are you going to deliver it? What's the easiest way for you to do that? And if you've got a Google Workspace that you're already paying for, just use the Google Drive. And the next thing, obviously, because we are all accredited coaches, all the way up to, I've lost the word, lost the name, but if you are thinking about sending agreements, contracts to your new clients, Dropbox Sign is a wonderful system because it's free. Free for sending up to 2 contracts per month. Now, in busy periods when you're launching something, or you bring in more than 2 clients in any given month, you can upgrade your Dropbox account and then downgrade it the next month. So there's flexibility with that. Now, in terms of a payment gateway, you get your wonderful clients that are interested, they want to sign up with you. You can set up checkout pages that are connected to your bank account, where you send the checkout page. It's normally like a URL where you would share that with your customer, and they would click on the payment link, pay it into your bank account, and Stripe will only take 2.4% fees. Now, I would also say and mention that, again, when you're at that stage of payment, I would think about, is it just as easy for me to create an invoice template and send the bank details at the bottom of the invoice so that I get the full payment in? Because let's face it, when you're celebrating your first few clients, you want every single penny into your bank account. But when you start to grow and build your business, then maybe step into the Stripe side of things. I'm hoping this is making sense. Give me a thumbs up or something like that. Amazing, amazing. And then the messaging side of things, that there's a lot of coaching offers normally offer fortnightly, weekly, or monthly calls, but then they also offer this back pocket element where you can have instant access to your coach, as like Lynsey in your back pocket, that sort of thing, or access to me in between calls. Now, a lot of people, like over the past 3-4 years, have been using email, and let's face it, we all hate email. So it's always better to stay away from email as much as possible. So I would always recommend using tools like WhatsApp or Voxer or something like that, where you connect with your client. The key here is to ensure you've got very clear boundaries on when you're available, Monday to Friday, 9 till 5, and that you allow a 24-hour response time minimum, because before you know it, you'll be sending WhatsApp messages while you should be watching Love at First Sight. Let's face it, life's too short. And then the last one is, you've got obviously Zoom because you're here today, but video calls deliver that one-to-one coaching element, or the group element, of course. And also webinars if you want to be doing these to your ideal clients. Zoom is a great tool to be able to connect with your ideal customers, and also to deliver your discovery calls and all these different things. So I would say Zoom is definitely one of them that you need. Now, with Zoom, it's about, I think it's about $15, if I'm right, a month, and there's a different price for annual, you pay less. So if we're looking at all of this tech stack here, you've got MailerLite, which is free, TidyCal is $29, having a Google Workspace is about, I think it's about now £12 a month, Dropbox Sign is free, payments, it's either Stripe with 2.4% fees or nothing if you're just creating invoices, WhatsApp is free, and Zoom is about $15. So now can you see that in order for you to be able to get yourself out there and to deliver and to grow your business, you don't need to build all of this tech. And I have a tech agency. I help clients build their tech, but I almost always see coaches building tech too soon, when they should be really focusing on building relationships, networking offline and online in order to grow and build their business. So give me a thumbs up if that's like, whoo, thank God for that. And one of the things that I see, and I think a couple of guys this morning have spoken about this, so I'm not going to touch on this too much. But what I'm also seeing with selling, when it comes to selling and new coaches, and they've just got their certification or their accreditation, that somehow they're captured by imposterism, by seeing all of these coaches online with successful 6- and 7-figure businesses, thinking that they have it all, thinking that that successful 6-figure coach has it all. And who am I to potentially have the same or a similar ideal client? And who am I to think that I can get the clients like them? When actually, that is none of our business, because what we are seeing on social media from that said coach may not actually be the real reality for them. So what I would love to say is, let's mind our own businesses and let's focus on what it is that we set our coaching businesses for, what we are passionate about. Always lead with that, lead with our heart space, and lead with the belief that we are here to be of service. And when you are stepping into that energy of being of service every day, you will not be thinking about imposterism. You won't be thinking about, I don't know enough, because all you need to be is one step further ahead from your ideal client to be able to be of service for them. And the perfectionism element of, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to work Canva. I don't know how to build a website. I'm going to go and learn how to build that first before I get myself out there. And that leads to burnout. It leads to confusion. It leads to a crazy list of operating expenses every month. But it also leads to nervous system freeze. And my intention with you is to always step into your working day being of service and leading from that passion that you had when you first stepped into this coaching space. Always lead with that. So again, as I was saying, when you're thinking about creating your structures to be able to bring in new clients, keep it as simple as possible. And I'm giving you a couple of examples that when you're putting content out there on social media, or you're even at a networking event, like an offline event, always think about this call to action. What is my call to action when I meet my potential customers? What is it I'm inviting them to do to come closer to me? Now, that could be listen to my podcast episodes on Spotify. It could be join my email list. It could be book a call. It could be sign up to my one-to-one coaching. It could be so many different things. But I would love for you to think about right now, what is it that if I put a social post on Instagram tomorrow, what is my call to action going to be? And I'd love for you to pop that in the chat. So if you are feeling overwhelmed, or you feel like you're being inconsistent in your business strategy, or you're avoiding selling your offers, because I see it so many times, it's because of that burnout. It's because you are thinking that you need to do everything all at once. My goal with every client that comes to work with us, my goal is to help them build a business that just excites them, that makes them feel passionate again. And that's why I stepped into getting my accreditation as a coach, because I could see that there were other ways that I could support my clients, not with just the done for you element, but also helping them find and build and create a business that excites them, that truly, truly excites them. So recap, very quick recap. You now know the essential setup questions for your foundations of your coaching business. You are now aware of what is needed for your tech stack to be able to bring in new customers, new clients, and make it really super simple for yourself. And you now know what it is that you need to be focusing on to be able to build relationships, to be able to create this connection with your potential clients, where it actually feels like it's not sales. And it's all 100% buildable from wherever you are right now. So if you're feeling stuck, uncertain, unsure, drop it all. Drop it all and come back to that first slide that we were talking about. Who is it that I'm here to serve? What is it that I'm serving them with? And how am I going to reach these people? And always come back to these three things. So for those that are here watching me tonight, or maybe watching the replay, it's available to you all. I invite you to book a 45-minute strategy session with me, where I will be able to help you in mapping out your next tech steps, to also spot where you're overcomplicating your business and how we can make it even simpler for you, but also for your ideal client to find you. And at the end of that session, I'll be able to give you a mini sales action plan that's going to help you reach your ideal clients and turn them into clients. And I will share this slide with this deck with the team so that you can get this as well. And finally, again, I'm just going to obviously move this over a bit so that this one works. I covered a couple of tech systems with you tonight, but I've created a freebie called the top 13 systems every coach needs without breaking the bank, because I see it time and time again. In every training that I do, people ask me, okay, what are the best tools that you can recommend on a limited budget? And I didn't want to give you too much overwhelm tonight and give you all these 13 systems, because I think I'd be here for an hour and a half. So what I've done is I've turned it into a freebie where you can sign up, get it, and be able to download it and be able to work out which of the tech systems you want to focus on first. And I always recommend just focus on 3, get those nailed, and then go back to the 13 systems and be able to set up the next 3 after that. So you can scan the QR code, but what I will do is I'll pop the link into the chat as well, whatever's easiest for you. So I believe we are at the end of the slide deck, thank goodness. So I will open it up to chat or conversation or whatever's best for you all. There we go.
Lynsey, I would love you to read this quote of yours, because it is simply beautiful and so inspirational. So would you do us the honor, please?
The quote at the end.
Yes, please.
Yes. Okay, so you didn't start this coaching business to build a second job. You're here to create freedom, fulfillment, and real, true impact. So my goal is to help you build that business that supports your soul and your bank account. 1 gazillion %. Because let's face it, we should be celebrating every penny that comes in from us building this business, every penny. And we don't want to get the fees. Right?
This is so inspirational. Thank you for reading it loud for us.
So much for the space to be able to share all of this. I'm so passionate about it, and I'm just popping all these links in there for anyone that needs them. Because not only for me with having the agency, but also the coaching business, I know the struggles that have been happening, going on, and so on. Oh, someone's just joined the waiting room. But also equally, I have worked with 280 coaches over the past 10 years. So what I've seen in the behind the scenes is so incredibly powerful, because I've seen the commonalities, the struggles, the elements of real true imposterism. But if you always just come back to the foundational elements, come back to your passion, come back to minding your own business and not believing all the BS on social media, you've already won, already. So that's the biggest takeaway that I can give you, is focusing on your little space in the online digital world, or the World Wide Web, it used to be called. My mum used to call it that. And knowing that you've got a space in that online digital space, owning that, knowing that it's there for you, and knowing that if you show up consistently, and consistency is the key here, if you show up consistently, your ideal clients are going to find you, absolutely going to find you. And if you just focus on building relationships and sharing your passions from the heart space, you will find your clients. Absolutely. Firm believer in that. So does anyone have any questions? Feel free to jump on live. I'd rather chat and make this a conversational thing, you know? Don't be shy.
What did I miss?
You missed everything. Oh my goodness, Anne. Look at that beautiful shirt.
Thank God for recordings. I was waiting ages to get in, and I've had problems with the links today, so it's been a bit of
what we covered was keeping tech simple. That was essentially it. Because there are so many tech tools out there, so many ads on social media, because it sees that you're a coach with the algorithm. So it feels very shouty in the online space about all the tech systems. And don't get me wrong, they all have a purpose and most of them are great. But if you fall into the trap of believing that you need it right now, you're going to spend all that time on focusing on building a tech system, when I believe you should be focusing on building relationships with your potential clients. And it's about keeping it simple.
Yeah.
Keeping it super simple. And what I have seen with working with over 280 coaches over the past 10, 11 years is that they use tech as an excuse not to do that.
I can see why.
Because they'd rather hide behind the screen. So doing anything but selling, anything but showing up and being of service, they'd rather do that.
Yeah.
Cynthia, it's lovely. Thank you so much for coming. I look forward to hopefully seeing you at one of the sessions with IAPC&M. I do monthly tech sessions. Rachel, you've been, haven't you, my love? So yeah,
Yep,
if anyone's
thank you.
interested in coming. So Anne, do you have any questions about tech, about systems, about sales, about structures, anything at all?
I don't think so. I think I'm very lucky in that I've got a lot of automation already, and I've been coaching for a long time now. So
music to my ears.
I've got some good processes in place. And in actual fact, I'm just sitting, funny enough, where is it? Got a little list here. Oh yeah, I've seen it's scruff, like just literally as I go through the whole procedure, when clients contact me and stuff, like I'm literally writing out a procedure just for myself as well to follow, so that I don't forget anything and I remember to chase them up. And I always remember being on a mastermind once, and I'm going to swear now, so be prepared, everyone. If you don't want to hear it, block your ears. But I was told you need to contact your prospective clients so much until you get to the point where they tell you to fuck off and die, because they're still potential clients until that point.
No.
You don't agree?
No. Well, no, because oh my god, I could talk about this for hours, but bro marketing, bro selling, there was a place for it 3-4 years ago, and everyone was teaching you that a client's still a client until you hear yes, the no word, and you can follow up and follow up. I think a bro marketer said to me it was about 17 times. That's the maximum amount of time to do follow up. And if you get to the 16 and you still not heard anything, then give up. No, that's not for me. I'm sorry, that's not for me.
So what do you do instead?
I deliver these sessions regularly. I share my knowledge and my insights and my passion in loads of communities, because people are seeing me and seeing what it is that I believe and seeing what it is that how I can offer clients, and building relationships and building know, like, and trust. So therefore, that is selling rather than me actually asking for the sale.
How if you've got to the point where you've had contact with people and you've had an intro call, when do you let that go?
So if I've had an intro call, I would always ask for the sale at the end of the conversation.
Yeah.
But I
And if you
wouldn't
don't
be,
get the sale because they say they can't afford you,
okay. So before you get
next?
to that point, before you get to the point of bringing them on the conversation, on the call, you should be asking them if they have got the budget to be able to work with you.
So
Because
you're
you don't
saying
want
that I should tell them the price before I have the intro call?
100%. So
Interesting.
when you are creating your event type, say a Calendly or Tidycal or whatever tool it is you use, there is an option to add questions. And so obviously you'd be asking the questions about where are you right now? What's your main problem? Where do you want to be in the next 5 years? These sort of questions for them to be big picture thinking. But then at the end of that question list, I would be saying, you know, my offers start from £200 for this offer right up to my high ticket offer. You wouldn't obviously say those words, but you would say right up to my signature program at 997. Please confirm in the comments below which of the offers interest you most and that you have the budget for them. Because what that will allow you to do is, yes, you go ahead with the call, or no, because your time is precious.
Very true.
And if you are inviting people onto a discovery call and they have no budget.
Yeah, the thing is, I do relationships. So it's not about like, there's no return on the investment as such financially. There's just a return on the investment in that their relationship gets better. But I don't know if I can work with them until I've had a call.
But surely you want to be asking them if they have the budget before you can decide you can work with them.
Yeah, but it also depends on, it depends on a lot of things, whether I feel like I can work with them, because there's typically one person in the relationship who thinks that they haven't done anything at all to contribute to what's going on.
Always.
So you've got to win them over, let them know that it's a non-judgmental, you know, process. And then it's hard because I was taught one way, and then changing that now and saying, well, this is what it costs to work with me, but also not knowing how many sessions they need. So I do a program of, sorry?
What you could do is when you get to that point of them answering the questions, and you might determine that they just don't have the budget for your, I don't know, like your group, your 6-month offer or your 3-month offer. You could respond to them and say that you don't offer chemistry calls, discovery calls, if people are interested in one-off sessions. That could be your turnaround, where you just respond back to them and say, here's the link to book. But if you decide to go ahead with a block of sessions, then I'll gift you the first session, or whatever it is you want it to be, you know, in terms of structure.
Okay, yeah. So I was just going to say, like, sometimes, because you might have one person who's really, really keen and the other one is like, oh, I don't know if this is going to work, you know.
Always, yes.
I then offer the intro session,
Yep.
which is more expensive to do that, not in terms of the total value, but if you worked out, like, if they did intro sessions all the time instead of the program, then it would work out more expensive for them to do that continually. But then what I will do is sometimes I'll say, well, I'll do the intro session for you, and if you sign up for any of the programs, I'll just deduct that from the total price.
So really what you're doing is your intro
discount.
session is your discovery call, right? But you're getting them to make a commitment.
No, I have the call before that to work out if I feel like I can work with them.
Okay.
There are people that, you know, you've obviously got to listen to their language as well. So you'll have people who will speak to you on the phone and they'll say things, and this is when I'm doing a separate call. Sometimes I do a call for both people separately. And I can remember one woman saying that during arguments, she'll say to her husband, "What's wrong with you?" And when I said to her, "What is wrong with him?" she was like dumbfounded, but then didn't want to work with me.
Okay.
Which is fine, because I don't want someone who's not prepared
right.
to make changes, coaching isn't about fixing it for them. Coaching is about giving them the tools to fix it for themselves. But they've got to have the willingness to do it. So in theory, I had the call with her, and she was eliminated from the process straight after the call. But you're right, I don't charge for the call, and the call could be anything up to an hour.
Yep.
So maybe I do need to rethink all of that as well. So
Could
that's
be
good.
that,
Good point, actually.
yeah.
I use Calendly, so I'm sure I can find some way to put a note on there when they book that
Yep.
says, I
Or
don't.
what you can do is, so you get them to pay the first session. So that's a paid event type in Calendly. Then when they sign up, you get them to pay through a checkout on Stripe or something, or whatever your payment gateway is. And then you share the event link for their calls, and you say, the container's normally 3 calls, but you've got 4. You know what I'm saying? Like giving them.
Yeah, it's not all calls.
I
First one is
see.
a call, then I can do an intro session, which is where I go to people. So I
Mhm.
go to their homes.
Mhm.
That's where they're the most comfortable and the most
course.
relaxed. So I find that I get better results by doing that.
So create 2 event types then, one where it's in person and one where it's on calls. And when you're doing the onboarding welcome email, you'll confirm the next steps once they've paid. Here's your booking link to book the Zoom 1-to-1 60-minute sessions. You have four rather than 3 because of the first session that you paid. And then step 2 would be, here's your booking link for the in-person sessions. You have up to 3 sessions within the 3-month container or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing that I do need to address, because some people are really stretching out the sessions, thinking that they'll have more support for longer if they stretch the sessions out. But my rule is like between 2 and 4 weeks. But some will push that like to 2 months. Then you find you're working with them for a really long time. Which is, I mean, it's fine. It doesn't impact me taking on new clients and, fitting them in, because if you've got the longer gaps, but it just means you're working with one couple for like over a year.
Yeah. And also as well, you're then not able to determine what your scope is for new clients and sales, because you've got these people stretching it out. It sounds like the boundary thing.
I do, and I have a strategy for the end, if you like. If people are not using, say, their last session or their last couple of sessions, or they've called me in too late and they end up splitting anyway, they know there's no refunds, because it's a process. And you've got to follow the process. And I offer them to have the remaining sessions independently if they want to. And if they choose not to, then I offer them to pay it forward.
Yep.
So they pay it forward, and then I can offer it to someone who I know really needs it and genuinely can't afford it, but also genuinely will make changes. So I've thought about that a few months ago, and it's been working quite well. But yeah.
That's amazing. And do you promote that? Do you share that online? Because that's an amazing way of giving back.
No, I don't. Making notes now.
You're how to get to that notepad that you shared earlier.
Yeah. This is a different one. This is the notes from today's sessions, but
So definitely looking at making your chemistry calls, discovery calls, whatever you call them, paid. Also looking at how you can structure the onboarding so that you've got more automation in your business. 100%.
And even more automation. Yeah. I'll speak to my guy.
Yeah. And definitely looking at
very good and very cheap. So
being of service, sharing with your audience the ways that you can really be flexible, and how you can support other people when sadly a relationship comes to an end. You pay these sessions forward. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Shout that from the rooftops, because it shows
Yeah,
that
it
you
is really nice that the clients do that, actually, because, you know, they know that
and
there's
you're
some
offering
point
it
where there's
too.
just no going back.
Yeah, but the
This
fact
is
that
why I
you're
was
offering,
asking the question, because sometimes it will take people over a year to come back to me and say, look, things are really bad now, I definitely need you. I'm like,
oh,
haven't I already spoken to you like a year ago?
you're like,
It's funny how it just takes that long. I think the thing is they go away with a little bit of renewed energy after the call because they have some realizations during the call. And then I normally give them 3 tips at the end of the call as well, which are simple things based on the things that they've told me. So another thing for social media, right?
yes, exactly.
And I think sometimes when you give them the tips and they've had that renewed energy from the call, that things go all right for a while, and then they start sort of going downhill again because they're not continuing, and then they contact me again. So yeah, I've just been going through a process today in between the sessions where I've been messaging people that I've done calls with and they've not got back to me with their start dates. So I've been going through and chasing them all up to see what's happening. So hopefully my phone will be on fire later.
Amazing. This is cool. And so you've got your contract sorted, yes?
I have a contract I've never used.
Okay, so that's what's going wrong with the container, with them not being within your boundaries of what it is that you ask of them, and that's why they're lasting until a year. They're not aware of their own boundaries of the
Yeah.
container.
Yeah, so but that's down to me to address and deal with it, you know. And it is hard because like I'm busy working and then trying to run the business as well. And it's
Yeah.
really, you know, tough. So the website guy has, you know, there's other things that he can do, like he does a lot of automation for me. When he said those words to me, he said, and he says, it feels like to me like you might be quite a fan of automation. I went, yes, I absolutely am. If you can automate anything for me,
Oh
please
my
do it. You know, like
goodness.
I'm not going to say no.
I am here for
So,
that.
you know, the
Absolutely.
Calendly bookings, if they hit my website, they can book a call with me. They can download a PDF. They can download and pay for my book. You know, it's a PDF book. It's not a book. You know, I haven't got that far yet. But it's just like the whole mind-blowing problem
This is the
of
stuff that I do every
overwhelm
day.
and trying to run everything, isn't it? And
I get
working
it.
at the same time. And I'm a busy working mum and grandmother, you know, like
It's crazy.
yeah.
But you've got all the systems that you need, yeah, to be able
Yeah.
to
Now
grow that
what I
business.
need to work on now is kind of a bit of like an email
Nurture.
an email chain, yeah, where I contact people and just send
Beautiful.
not generic please buy my things email, but you know, that do
Building
you know,
relationships.
and you know, like just little stories and stuff, you know, and I
Yeah,
work with this client and this happened and we got this result, blah blah blah.
amazing.
And that's what I need to work on.
You need to share your passion and your
Yes, you
experience.
know, it's so
All of
funny,
that.
the pay it forward thing. I never even thought about it. The 3
Yeah,
tips on a call, you know, like all these silly things that you just forget to
of
put
course.
on social media, you know.
Yeah, of course. But that's your goal is to build relationships and connection. People won't know what it is that your skills are, what you're passionate about if you don't share them, you know?
Yeah.
I'm so
I've been
passionate
doing
about
a
this.
speakers course so that I can do more videos,
Yes. Oh,
and then
I've done it. Trust me.
I'm just not doing the video. No, that's a lie, actually. I have done a whole host of videos. I went all the way to Gozo to work with a guy in Gozo because he had helped me in the past, and I went to see him and we did a whole load of videos. I'm just not 100% happy with the videos in terms of how I look in it, which is very
Oh, we need,
egotistical, right? But
listen,
it's more
listen,
because
I've
of
been
the position of the camera. It looks like I'm looking up like that, you know? And I just think, oh my God. And he's used a bit of AI, so my mouth kind of does a funny shape every now and then. And it's just like, oh, I don't know if I can use it. But do you know what? It's better to use something
Get it
than
out
nothing,
there.
right? And get it
Get
out
it out
there.
there.
So,
Like when
yeah,
I
now
see
I have to
myself
go through his
speaking on
videos.
camera, I think my mouth is squint. And sometimes that stops me from sharing my videos. Honestly, we do crazy stuff.
Oh
But
God,
it's
yeah. I mean, I know I pull some funny lip movements when I'm talking. I'm not worried about
thank
that. It
you.
was just, it just didn't feel like me. Do you know what I mean? When it doesn't feel
Yeah,
authentic, it just feels a bit weird sharing it. But I
yeah.
am happy to just go for it, and it's
Amazing.
all in my process of things that I've got to
Right.
do.
Click on Insta and let's connect, and I'll share the love when you get your videos on there.
Got to do it now then.
Accountability. Okay, guys.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot on
now.
LinkedIn recently, and I've been doing gratitude posts. So I'm tagging people that have touched my life in some way, or I've worked with them business-wise. In fact, I tagged the guy who did the videos for me, and just sharing some gratitude, because isn't the world a horrible place at the moment? Like, there's so much awful stuff going on.
100%.
And regardless of people's views and stuff, like this poor, Charlie Kirk and stuff getting shot,
I hear
and the
you.
woman
I
on
hear you.
the subway. It's just like there's just so
We
much
need
hatred in the world,
we need
isn't there? So
we
much
need to
violence
shine
and
our light. We
aggression.
need
But one of my posts today was just to say, isn't it nice that there is actually still predominantly good in the world? There's a lot more good than there is bad.
Yep.
It's just
And
that
so we need
we
to
are
keep shining
bombarded with
that.
it on social media, which is kind of why I avoid it a little bit. I never watch the news.
Neither do I. I don't either. That's why
You're
I'm
negative.
like, I just focus on the things that I'm passionate about, the things that I enjoy, and build relationships with people, and don't think about anything else that's on social. But
Yeah.
thank you so much, guys. We are at the end
Thank you.
here. Sorry that it's
Thank
been
you.
a quick rush up, but the last hour's just gone like that. Thank you so
That
much.
is true.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
That was
Lynsey,
really
for
useful.
the practical tips. Do take care. Hope to see you
Thank you.
soon.
You
Thank you.
too.